The moment the grand hall fell silent, it felt as though the air itself was holding its breath. Chandeliers glowed softly above polished marble floors, and rows of guests sat frozen, waiting for a choice that everyone believed was already decided. This was not just a meeting of status and tradition. It was a moment that would quietly change lives forever. At the center of it all stood a man of power and a family desperate to secure its future, unaware that the simplest act of honesty was about to disrupt everything they thought they knew. Before we go further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us that true worth goes deeper than appearances, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to World of Kindness. Also, tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts around the world. The Duke named Alaric Hawthorne was known across the region not only for his wealth, but for his quiet principles. He had inherited a vast estate generations old, along with a reputation for fairness that felt rare in elite circles. When he arrived at the Whitmore estate that afternoon, everyone assumed his purpose was simple. The Whitmore family had 2 daughters, and tradition dictated that alliances were formed through appearances, prestige, and social approval. The elder daughter, Celine Whitmore, was admired everywhere she went. Her beauty praised, her confidence celebrated, her presence always noticed. The younger daughter, Mara Whitmore, stood just a step behind, often overlooked, her calm nature mistaken for insignificance. Mara had learned early in life how invisible someone could become without ever leaving the room. She carried herself with quiet dignity, never demanding attention, never interrupting conversations that flowed past her like she wasn't there. While Celine was guided toward ballrooms and admiration, Mara found comfort in the estate's gardens and libraries, learning to listen rather than shine. Their father, Aldrich Whitmore, a man deeply concerned with reputation, believed success was something that could be displayed, not something that grew quietly within. As preparations were made for the Duke's visit, the household buzzed with unspoken expectations. Every glance, every carefully arranged detail pointed towards Celine. Mara noticed it all, yet she said nothing. Years of being sidelined had taught her that silence was safer than hope. She did not resent her sister, but she understood her place, or so she believed. When the moment came, Aldrich Whitmore guided the Duke through the hall with practiced confidence. He spoke at length about family legacy, prosperity, and the importance of outward excellence. Without hesitation, he gestured towards Celine, presenting her as the obvious choice. To him, the matter seemed settled before it had even begun. But Alaric Hawthorne was not listening to what was being offered. He was observing what was being revealed. He noticed how Celine smiled effortlessly, accustomed to admiration. He also noticed Mara standing quietly at the edge, hands folded, eyes thoughtful, neither seeking attention nor shrinking from the moment. There was a stillness about her that did not come from weakness, but from self-awareness. As the room waited for his response, Alaric felt something unexpected, a sense of clarity. He had seen countless polished faces and rehearsed virtues throughout his life. What he rarely encountered was sincerity untouched by performance. His decision, when it came, did not follow the script everyone expected. The reaction was immediate and unspoken. Murmurs rippled through the guests. Aldrich Whitmore's confidence faltered, his carefully crafted plan cracking in plain sight. Celine remained composed, but surprise flickered briefly across her face. Mara, meanwhile, felt time slow. She was not prepared for attention, least of all this kind. Her heart raced, not from excitement, but from disbelief. In the days that followed, the estate buzzed with speculation. Why would a duke choose the daughter no one praised? Why turn away from perfection as others defined it? Some whispered theories, Others doubted the decision entirely. Mara felt the weight of judgment pressing on her from all sides, yet something within her remained steady. For the first time, she was not being chosen despite who she was, but because of it. As arrangements were discussed and plans formed, all Alaric took time to know Mara beyond appearances. He learned of her love for learning, her compassion for those who worked quietly behind grand walls, and her belief that dignity was not something granted by status. Mara, in turn, saw men who valued depth over display, whose authority came from responsibility rather than pride. Not everything was easy. Aldrich Whitmore struggled to hide his disappointment, and society's expectations loomed heavy. Mara faced moments of doubt, questioning whether she truly belonged in a world that had never made space for her. Yet with every step forward, she realized that being overlooked had given her strength others never needed to develop. Slowly, perspectives began to shift. Staff members who had long noticed Mara's kindness felt seen through her rise. Guests who once dismissed her found themselves surprised by her insight and grace. Even Celine, accustomed to admiration, came to understand that worth was not a competition, but a spectrum. Mara's journey was not about becoming someone else. It was about allowing herself to be visible without changing who she was. She learned that rejection had never defined her, it had prepared her, and all Alaric, in choosing her, had not rescued her, he had recognized her. As the seasons changed and the story spread, the tale became less about a duke's unexpected choice and more about the quiet power of authenticity. People spoke of how true value often stands silently, waiting for someone willing to see beyond the obvious. If this story is touching your heart, please pause for a moment and engage with it. Like the video, share your thoughts and let us know if you believe kindness can change destinies. Near the end of the celebration that marked their union, Mara looked around, not with triumph but with gratitude. She had not been chosen because she fit an image, but because she embodied something real. And that realization, more than any title or recognition, was her greatest reward. Before this story ends, we have one special request. Please comment the word "seen" if you believe that quiet hearts deserve recognition too. Because sometimes the most powerful choice is not the one everyone expects, but the one that finally sees the person who was always there.